Texas State game, I thought, we played pretty consistent the first half, kind of stuck to the game plan defensively. I thought we shut down Levitt, their little guard. I think we held her to 8 points, and we're trapping her, doing some good things. And in the second half, they made some adjustments, got her loose, and it was kind of the tail of the game. It's like she ends up with 28 points, and we didn't really guard her as well as we would have liked to. But I thought we played pretty consistent, There were some plays that we could to help to win the game. I think no plays really lost the game, but, some things that we could have did to get better. And, that's kind of part of being young, I guess, is having those freshmen out there. Brandy Williams played a really good game. Ty Doucette's getting a little bit more healthy. So hopefully, we can go on this road trip. And I know Kevin and them always say to split, but we can't split now. We got to win both of those. I think if we could win both of those and come back and then split or beat Arkansas State and split at home, we would put ourselves in pretty good position, maybe to even host a play-in game. I think it's going to be rough for whoever finishes 9th or 10th to turn back around and get back on the road and play that play-in game and then leave from there and go to New Orleans. So they're really trying to make it really difficult for the teams that are the lower seeds to I guess that's just the nature of what they want March Madness to be about. But and I want to thank I really would like to thank each and every one of y'all from the media. I know Kevin's been on board since I've gotten here. As far as for covering women's basketball. But on Saturday, I thought it was a pretty special day what we did, but it was because of y'all, the media, that really, we've never, ever been covered like we were on Saturday as far as for our cancer game and all that. So, our pink game and in our walk. And, Dave did a great job of getting it out. So, to me, it made our kids feel really good. And the survivors. We're really pleased, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all for what y'all do for us. But I appreciate it. Any questions?
Talk about the process of, we talk about how young you are all year long, but as far as last 4 or 5 minutes of a game, the obstacles to not getting the ball in the right people's hands when you have on offense, they have the right people shooting down the stretch in a game. What are the obstacles to that, and what's the solution?
Well, if you have a Tom Brady and he drops back and he's going to find Edelman, that's what we don't have. We don't have that Tom Brady that's going to put – I see it every day in practice. We have certain kids on our team that are defensive-oriented, and that's what they're in the game for, and they have some, like a Brandy Williams, that's offensive-oriented. And so when you have that quarterback that understands that, and that's what they don't quite understand. I always talk about it. I know my assistant coaches don't like me to hear me say this, but offense is it's a dictatorship. Defense is democracy. So yeah, I think we got to get better at knowing that. That's a great point, because that's kind of what happens, and a lot of time in the course of the game too. It's like we're trying to coach them to, Ty Doucette's one of our major weapons, and that's what we need to get her some touches and all that. So we got to get better at that, especially, at the end of the game. And I like some of the plays that we didn't make, I'm going to take responsibility, because some of them were inbounds plays that we threw over somebody's head and they go score a layup, and then we don't take the ball out of bounds. That's on me. We don't spend enough time on perfecting those those inbounds plays. Because I don't think they make that much difference, but they do it did on Saturday. It did make a difference. So that was on me. Making sure we have Skylar Goodwin usually takes the ball out for us because she makes really good decisions, and she's not playing. So that's another negative that we had to deal with, and we had to move some people around. But she's really good at it, and I think that it's a key. I think it's a gift that you know how to take the ball out of bounds, even though you don't think. You got to be able to find an open man. So I think that's some of the things that we will have to work on.
When is she going to play?
I don't know. Last week we thought she was definitely going to play. Her foot looked good, and then when the doctor checked that, they felt that she still had a little bit too much pain in it, and it would put too much stress on it. So I don't know. She didn't practice at all last week. She shot around last week, though. Every day at practice she shot around. So We haven't heard anything. I'll see today in practice, hopefully. And I think this decision is going to have to be made that we're getting toward the end. Are we going to play her now? You know, I mean, it's going to be a point to where she's going to have to kind of play hurt, I guess.
In a game or two, normally when you come back after a certain amount of time, you ease your way in. There's no time for easing.
No, there's no time for easing at all. No, you're right. So it's going to be a tough situation for us, is that if we can get her in before we get into the tournament, you know, and hopefully make a run. It's going to be a tough situation, I think. But we'll find out. Hopefully we'll find out something today.
When you guys decided on the format for the tournament, was it like heated debate or was there some consensus?
You really want me to answer that?
Sounds like heated debate.
No, we weren't given an option.
Oh, you guys didn't?
I mean, we were given an option, and we chose the regular format, and then all of a sudden it comes out, and I mean, I was in total shock that we would. I knew the men were doing it, but I didn't think we were doing this. I didn't know, and I mean, I don't know. I don't think it fits what we're trying to do. You know, my thing is when you get to this time of the year, the best team that's playing the best should win. I don't think you can fool the game, you know, and everybody want this, do it this way, do it that way. I see it every year. I've been in only 11 years in college, and you can't fool the game. Whoever's playing the best is going to win. You know, whether you're playing a play-in game or you're getting two, you know, if you're drawing. I see this happen all the time is you draw 2 buys and then that team loses because, you know, it's their first game in the tournament. The other teams played twice. So they're trying to figure it out. I say you just play. You know, I think just a regular tournament. So we didn't, I know as women coaches, we didn't vote on this format for this year. And I don't remember what next year kind of entails because the men are different. Next year, they're going to do that pod system, and we're not.
The men's coaches decided on.
The men's coaches, I'm really not sure how this ended up this year, because I know that's not what we voted on.
You mentioned it in your opening statement, but you feel like the girls understand the sense of urgency of being in the 10th spot, and if you want to host a playing game, that you pretty much have to take care of all your business down the stretch?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we talked about how each game, I mean, this Texas State game was big for us, I thought, and how big it was and how that, you know, if we could get by this one, the next one's going to be bigger. And I mean, I think players today, you know, it's a lot of times they just play, you know, they understand the game, but they're going to prepare and play. And I think as a young group, that's all you can ask of them. Hey, just prepare, let's do the best we can. And they did. I thought they had a pretty good week of practice, you know, in preparing. So hopefully we can have it this week and get on the road and steal a couple of wins.